spot at a time. I got down. Break.
Got it good. You got Mother Nature down here in Arizona. Ain't going around.
Yeah, 10-4 and having some Mother Nature down there around Arizona. Hey, you say got some Mother Nature down there around Arizona, the break.
Yeah, man, you're going to make me go fire up my other radio. It's just a workbench radio. So, hey, Big Bad John, ain't nobody but 639 Arizona waving at you.
10-4 to 639 Arizona, but you got that mall down over here. You don't need to go fire up anything else. You got all you need all up in there right now. What you think, the break?
The workbench radio, man. I got the Apache Labs next door, man. I'm over here working on a 820 D2 Collins, and heard you roll up. Sounding choice as you always do.
Down to the Collins. Oh man, that's a nice radio. All right, good deal. Well, you say you're on the workbench radio now, and the Apache radio is next door. So okay. Well, in the meantime, in between times, you got that one working real good over here. Check this out one time.
The workbench radio, man. I got the Apache Labs next door. I'm over here working on a 820 D2 Collins, and heard you roll up. Sounding choice as you always do.
And there you go. That's you all up in there, Motormouth Mall, with that playback in the wonderful world of sound. Your West Coast Beast, A639, Arizona radio station, Motormouth Mall, cruising. They got all the way up.
All right, bud. Hey, I'm going to go fire up the other radio, and let's see if Mother Nature holds out for us. But I'm going to go fire up the Apache Labs radio, and we'll talk on that one, because I done some things to that, man. I put I have an Omnia FM in line with that, and I put some more gear in line since the last time me and you have had Mother Nature. So I want to go get some gates on that one. So let me go fire up the PC and go get the Apache Labs radio on the air. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to listening to the Omnia FM, the Omnia 2020 maybe, on an AM radio. That'll be cool. All right, we'll be back here, listener.
Got the gate rolling up. That's what it's quiet now. Click.
Capital 391, San Paul, getting up. Roll Master Bill Capital 391, San Paul, getting up. Hey, good afternoon, Randy Band. What M12 circle on the wing? What's the other part to hear? What's the other part to hear? I'm getting nobody out.
Hey, Superman, 806 got this gate rolling. Hey, Superman, 806, they out here too.
Down 391, fast hard on the middle. Hello, Ron Big D. Hello, Ron Big D. 391, fast hard.
I tell you, look at this Van Bill run. Look at this Van Bill run. Look at that. Look at that all day, every day. Ooh, last 2 months. All day, every day. Ooh, look at that. I holler. I put it to the test with the best, and I ran over the rest, and I'm black out. say I ran with the best, and I ran over the rest. That's all. I'm just a mud dog from Channel 20 with a damn attitude. But I have ran with the best and ran over the rest. I holla. Okay, I'm Mr. Reach and Getter. I holla. Hey, Sensei, I'm gone now.
Hey, 639 Arizona, you got that radio fired up? You had their break.
Hey, Motor 806 got you on these.
All right, let's see if I got any Mother Nature. Hey, Motor Mouth 639 with the wave. Come on.
Ooh, that sounds significantly different. Wow, I like it.
Yeah, man, I've been playing with this thing, and I you know how it is. It's a never-ending game of playing with this stuff. Turn that off. Here, let's open up a little more bandwidth. I had the bandwidth turned down, so some of these guys don't want to listen to it. So let's stop about right there. That should be more than good enough for you there, Bryce.
Oh, man, that sounds good. That sounds sweet right there. Ain't no doubt about that. You're going to like it on YouTube. We got you live on YouTube right now. We got the YouTube gate rolling. First gate of the day, and we're looking at 073023A at about 7 minutes and 37 seconds into the gate. Hello, 806 and the Bighorn, too, while you're over there on YouTube. And, yeah, 639. That sounds wonderful right there.
Yeah, appreciate it, John. And here's your playback, my friend. Oh, come on. Come on, computer. Don't want it's not cooperating. Okay, well, Windows 10.
First gate of the day, and we're looking at 073023A at about 7 minutes and 37 seconds into the gate. Hello, 606 and the Bighorn, too, while you're over there on YouTube. And 639. That sounds wonderful right there.
And it's telling me it wants to do updates, of course, because I haven't had this thing fired up in a little bit. But, John, you know, you're sounding good like you always do, my friend. I've been kind of waiting to get a good gate from you because I'm going to be doing some different processing here in a little bit. Going to try out I got this phone on it. It's another kind of all-in-one processor that's going to demo it on this station, and then we're going to go stick it on a commercial AM we've been working on. So we're going to be having a little bit of fun. You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta play somewhere and then implement it somewhere and see how it works and see how she rolls. That'll be interesting to see how whatever you got there is going to come out sounding like. Ain't no doubt about that. It sounds real good. Appreciate the playback, by the way. I do have a little tad bit more effect or reverb or room sound that I kind of sort of would want, but I'm going to roll with it for a while because I finally got everything kind of sort of buttoned up and stashed away at the moment. But I appreciate the playback, and yeah, you sounded real good. I'm gonna play that playback back one time. Check this out real fast. This will be the whole thing, encompassing both you and I and the whole 9 yards. Here it goes. Whoops.
Yeah, appreciate it, John. And here's your playback, my friend. Oh, come on, computer. Don't want it's not cooperating. Okay, well, Windows 10.
First gate of the day, and we're looking at 073023A at about 7 minutes and 37 seconds into the gate. Hello, 806 and the Bighorn, too, while you're over there on YouTube. And 639. That sounds wonderful right there.
And it's telling me it wants to do updates, of course, because I haven't had this thing fired up in a little bit. But, John, you know, you're sounding good like you always do, my friend. I've been kind of waiting to get a good gauge from you because I'm going to be doing some different processing here in a little bit. Going to try out I can put the phone on. It's another kind of all-in-one process for this thing. We're going to demo it on this station, and then we're going to go stick it on commercial AM we've been working on. So we're going to be having a little bit of fun. You know how it is. I play back there, John. Yeah, I don't have the big amplifier fired up, so I'm somewhat limited output power going your direction. You told me a long time ago, man, when you're doing this stuff, you got to have the fire behind it, and I don't have the fire on right now. I just turned it off earlier, and you know, those 3 CPX 5000s take anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes to warm up, and I have a 15-minute delay timer, and I don't feel like warming that thing back up today, but appreciate the gate, John, and we'll get to talk to you some other band here one of these days. As soon as I get this 820 figured out and figure out what the other previous gentleman modified it, how he did it, and whatever else he did to it, maybe we'll catch you down in the lower bands there, Break.
Sounds good. I've got an 820 over here, an 820 Collins, pair of 4-400s, modulating 2 4-400s. And, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the reverb down here. There might be just a little bit reverb heavy, a little bit. Let me turn it down. I keep it down here, somewhere like that. See what that does. Might sound better on your end. Anyway, okay, we'll try that a little bit less. And, yeah, I think it'd be neat to hear that on the other band there, Break.
Yeah, man, I've been sitting with my local friend. I finally got off dead center. You know, it took me a little bit while to get my it's kind of a long wire, but it's a full wave on 80. Let's just put it that way. So it's something fun that I like playing with, but I don't have anything really set up there right now besides just a radio, which you know does the job. 100 watts does the job, but everything about it is set up for whatever I need to go into it. And, you know how it is. Too many projects, too little time. I know you understand that principle there. Go ahead.
Oh, I sure do. Always too many projects, not enough time, not enough hours in the day. That's par for the course. That's how it seems to work over here anyway. I'm going to turn the reverb down just a little bit more yet from where I had it. And we'll see what this does. If you can record this and play that back, we'll see what this does. And one more playback over here on this side. Check this out. Oh, play yourself back to me too. Here, I'll do this whole thing for you. Here it goes.
Yeah, man, I've been sitting with my local friend. I finally got off dead center. You know, it took me a little bit while to get my it's kind of a long wire, but it's a full wave on 80. Let's just put it that way. So it's something fun that I like playing with, but I don't have anything really set up there right now besides just a radio, which you know does the job. 100 watts does the job, but everything about it is set up for whatever I need to go into it. And, you know how it is. Too many projects, too little time. I know.
And there you go. Oops, I cut that off a little bit short. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. 639 Motormouth Mall cruising. I hope that playback works on your end, coming back over to my end.
All right, let's try it. Oh, I just messed it up. I'm sorry, I hit record again on this thing. This PC's not happy with me today. I had that whole thing recorded. Nope, I messed it up, John. I'm sorry.
Kung Fu fighting.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a shorter. I'll do a shorter playback of you, and then I'll put some of my audio up in there. So here goes. Let me stop this. Go over here.
Minutes to warm up, and I have a 15-minute delay timer, and I don't feel like warming that thing back up today. But appreciate the gate, John, and we'll get to talk to you some other band here one of these days. As soon as I get this 820 figured out and figure out what the other previous gentleman modified it, how he did it, and whatever else he did to it, Maybe we'll catch you down in the lower bands there, Bright.
All right, there you go. That was you. Motormouth Mall working this thing with a little bit less reverb, but hopefully it'll sound okay around your stack of bricks. Motormouth Mall stepping, one fat watt at a time. Your West Coast undermodulated beast got all the way down.
Some old spot.
Let's see if it wants to do it. It caught some of it. I don't know what's going on. I got something going on with this PC. It's not happy. Let's see. Come on, play. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I got RF or something in the shack here, John. Give me a minute. Let's unplug that. Oh, RF getting... Well, ooh, that was great. RF getting into the keyboard somewhere. What I get for not playing with this thing for a little bit. Let's see. Let's turn off this. And, well, let's turn off pure signal because I'm not running the big amp. Now will it let me record? Okay, now let me record. I don't know what's going on with this thing, John. Hey, I mean, I'm trying for you, John. I don't know what's going on.
I'll give you one more playback here of yourself and a little opportunity to get this that thing recording something. And we'll do this one more time over here.
Minutes to warm up, and I have a 15-minute delay timer, and I don't feel like warming that thing back up today, but appreciate the gauge on, and we'll get to talk to you on some other band here one of these days. As soon as I get this 820 figured out and figure out what the other previous gentleman modified it, how he did it, and whatever else he did to it, maybe we'll catch you down in the lower bands there, Bright.
And there you go. And that was you. Motormouth Mall working the ball peen mall, waving one more time in the world of sound. Hope everything is all well and swell, and we're looking forward to the playback. And I am going to roll the bass up around the place just one time, but not too much. I got all the way down. Breaker.
Oh. All right. Let's see if it wants to do it this time. I don't know what's going on, John. Hey, I mean, I'm trying for you, John. I don't know what's going on.
I'll give you one more playback here of yourself and a little opportunity to get this that thing recording something. And we'll do this one more time over here.
Minutes to warm up, and I have a 15-minute delay timer, and I don't feel like warming that thing back up today, but appreciate the gauge on, and we'll get to talk to you on some other band here one of these days. As soon as I get this 820 figured out and figure out what the other previous gentleman modified it, how he did it, and whatever else he did to it, maybe we'll catch you down in the lower bands there, Bright.
And there you go. And that was you. Motormouth Mall working the ball peen mall, waving one more time in the world of sound. Well, and we're looking forward to the playback. And I am going to roll the bass up around the place just one time, but not too much. I got all the way down. Breaker.
We can't go much wider than that, John. Oh, I can go a whole lot more, how much wider than that, but I'm over 10K wide right now. So you got pretty much as much fidelity as I think you ever need to hear. Hey, Motormouth Mall, come on down.
Oh yeah, you're wider than I am. I'm rolling off at 4.5 kilohertz, pretty hard. Got a pretty good steep. What are you? About 5, 10, 15 to 20 dB between my high frequency shoulder at roughly 4.7 kilohertz, dropping down to where the skirt starts widening out a little bit. So I'm pretty narrow over here. So yeah, I don't need to go too much wider. I don't think I'll hear much of it. That sounded good. I had a good playback, and your audio sounded good over here. Beautiful audio out of the Apache Labs, and man, that's definitely a pleasure hearing that thing roll up in here around my neck of the woods. I didn't hear an appreciable difference when I rolled the bass up and back down again, so I'm going to leave the bass down on where it is right now because I think it's probably sufficient, and I do like it a little bit better with a little bit less of the not less reverb, but a less of a particular feature of the reverb. So I think I like it where it is to break. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, you sound good on this Wohler monitor here that I have. So this one has a little subwoofer in it, so it sounds pretty good, man. I mean, can't complain about it like always, but you know that's your game. Always constantly playing with the audio and having fun with it. Yeah, man. I'm still running the RE20 into the 528 Symmetrics, into the Behringer Ultra Voice, and then the final processor is that Omnia FM. And I tell you, man, it's amazing what these stations throw away in their junk pile. I didn't even know this Omnia worked because it has the encoder knobs broke off, and they must have pulled it out of the rack and threw it in the pile when their encoder broke off or somebody bumped it. And, you can still kind of grab the nub and work it around, so that's what I did. And I'm just running off of preset settings on that thing. And maybe I should, I've been threatening to do it for months now. I just haven't done it. Go ahead and fix that encoder and actually be able to set that thing up correctly. But I was kind of surprised when I first got it. I plugged it in line and was talking to D-Rail, and it was a significant difference on his end, too. So there again, man, you know how it is. We get out here and have a whole bunch of fun, and for as little as money as possible there, go ahead.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people say, oh, you Motormouth Mall's got all this money invested in a station. Not really, if they only knew. I know a lot of people, I'd say 70 or 80% of the people out there, the larger stations, have a lot more in their station than I do in mine. But, let them think what they think. But you do have to, to make the hobby fun, you kind of sort of look for the deals, look for making the silk purse out of his house here kind of a thing. Somebody throws something away, make the best of it. There are a lot of the stuff still, has a lot of usefulness to it when stations, discard stuff and all that. So, it's funny. I never thought about trying it seriously, really, on AM, but I have an Optimod 8100 FM. I use my 9200 here is what I'm using, but the Optimod 8100 FM would be interesting to see what it does on AM, and just ignore the stereo pilot and the 38 kilohertz sideband, the FM stereo stuff, and just run it straight mono. And see how it does as an AM processor. That would be kind of interesting. But the Omnia 2020 or Omnia FM is working really well for you, and sounds great. I'm just shocked that it sounds as good as it does over here. And I'm also running the RE20 microphone. Instead of using the 528 or anything like that, I'm going to Live Professor instead, and then just a real mild Live Professor setting, and then into the 9200, and then the 9200 actually is also going to remember the old Volumax 4000s? I'm running one of those at the very end of the chain to break.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, now you always are playing with stuff, man, and these guys don't realize that well, it may be easier for what we do to get the stuff, but I'm a young man in the game, and and I had to put on the business card, station cleanup, as in I come in, haul it all away, don't charge you nothing, and I sweep your floors when I'm done. But, that's the only way you can get the stuff sometimes. I got another 816 Continental coming down off a mountain. I got some parts already gone out of that. So, I don't know, man. You know how it is. And, I got you're talking a FM processor. I got a 6200. I got to send back to Legacy and get them to fix it. I don't feel like working on the thing. And there again, that was all from the same station. And I don't have any Optimod AMs yet, but I've been looking. I know a guy that has some of the PC cards. I might try getting one of the PC Optimod cards and seeing how that behaves, but I know you're doing that Live Professor thing, and it works, and it works well. But you know that, so I don't need to be telling you anything you already know. So, yeah, man, I like talking with you like this. This is what I've been waiting to do for months now. We haven't had conditions, and I've been kind of trying to wait for this to happen, and this is what I've been waiting to do. I know I can trust your playback. Because I know that your bandwidth is there. Even though D-Rail's setup is good, yours is very consistent, and I know what I'm working with there. Go ahead.
Roger, and I think you'll like the video gates. Even my playback is okay, but it is reasonable. But the YouTube video will certainly show 100% reality of what's going on. My playback may color things a little bit because, as you know, I play everything back off one computer, and that one computer is going to take a source from either what I've recorded or what came off the internet or a CD or any other source, and so of course the bandwidth and the control of the overshoots and the audio energy and the distribution of the power within that bandwidth is going to be substantially different depending on what the program material was mastered for and on, with what intentions. And so it's all over the map, kind of, sort of. So I had to kind of sort of, it's almost like NPR radio. You got to kind of sort of make everything happy, and it doesn't really do a lot of justice for any one particular thing. But when you listen to the YouTube gate, that is going to be directly off the SDR with no processing, as you were heard in my headphones and in my studio monitors, which are rocking and rolling across the floor over here. I got these 15-inch two-way. They're not studio monitors. They're 15-inch stage monitors, and you got them rolling around the floor over here. So real good job. And in case the live professor died out, I've got a Valley 401. I really, I like the 528. It's a really neat unit. I've got a couple of them. But the Valley 401, I really like it too. The old Valley 401 mic preamp, and works wonders and all that stuff. So I've got one of them as well as a backup just in case live professor went belly up on me. But in the meantime, in between times, this is how we're doing it. And man, yeah, you got that thing. That Apache Labs is sounding great with the Omnia. Keep on doing what you're doing. And one of these days, I will try my 8100 FM on AM and see how that does. Oh, and you mentioned the Optimod PC card. I'd like to try that one of these days too. I haven't. I've been sort of behind times, I think, a little bit, and I haven't ever gone down or experienced that particular road to break.
Yeah, I think you'll find that there again. I was explained by. Well, he may even be more of a senior engineer than you, but he kind of laughed at me one time. He's like, audio is audio. You can take a processor and pretty much make it do whatever you want if you have enough time and patience. And there again, 50, maybe going on 60 years in the industry now. I mean, well, I'll say it has to be. He's over 60. Well, he's almost 70. Oh, geez, I don't want to think about that. Anyway, he many years in the industry, and he just kind of chuckles. He's like, you'd be amazed what you can do if you just sit there and tinker with it. He said, would it be the best thing? Nah, but it'll work. And depending on what you're going for, it all gets the job done. And I'll keep a lookout for one of those mic processors. You know how it is. I'll get it one of these days. I'll run into another pile of junk because this last clean out, I now have 5 or 6 of these 528Es, and I'll find some more. It's just a matter of time before somebody else gives me the phone call and says, "Come haul this junk away," which is the only way we can really afford to do this. Everyone looks like you're saying. Everyone looks at our stations and says, "Oh man, they got a lot of money in that." I'm going, well. If you only knew, the fuel money, the time, and the labor in it is, let's just face it, substantial to say the least. But when you're doing it, time means nothing, and especially when you're getting equipment that may or may not be good, but every once in a while you get that diamond in the rough, and you got to take it out, and you got to have a little bit of fun with it. So. But yeah, if I ever hold my hands on that Orban PC card, I'll let you know. I may play with it a little bit. Then if I can get it, I know the guy that has a couple of them, but you know how that is. Sometimes they want to let go of them, other times they don't. If I get an opportunity, I'll get one sent up to you. I got no problem doing that because I'm sure you would like to play with it there also. Go ahead.
I sure would. That'd be a lot of fun. And by the way, I have sitting here that I finally decided that I'm not going to ever use it. I was going to tear it apart for parts, and if nobody wants it, ultimately, I guess that's what I'm going to do. But I have an old Collins Power Rock. If you're familiar with the old 5 kilowatt Power Rock, I've got a Power Rock sitting here that I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen to it. 3-phase, 208 3-phase commercial power input and all that. And anyway, it's finally moved its way out of my shop into the storage unit. So that kind of means that its last days here are numbered. unless I really find that I need to tear it apart and dismantle it because it's taking up space. But if you know anyone who needs a station who might need this is tuned to 1280 AM. Of course, you can alter that, but yeah, it's a Power Rock sitting here that works good with the extender card, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool deal. Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been working on a 1480 here locally, and another one of these wasn't done right. Get it on the air real quick type situations, and then they got sold, and now it's become mine and my buddy's mission to get it back operational correctly. And they have an Armstrong kilowatt in there, and I don't know if you've messed with those, but I got to say that's a very temperamental transmitter. So they have a brand new BE 2.5 on the way. I guess they're still about 3 weeks out on that, and have to go over there and install that. Problem is they got 3 stations on the same location. They got 1400, 1480, and 1580 all in the same locale. So man, I'm telling you, we got a headache, and can't even get a base impedance measurement on the wire that's outside the stick. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of work to do over there yet to get those people all straightened away. But yeah, that poor Armstrong lives in power foldback. It thinks it has a high DSWR, and I don't know, man. Some of this commercial stuff is, I mean, less than desirable, and I know the BE will work much better than that little Armstrong, but. I'll keep. If I hear of anyone needing something like that, John, I got your number still. I just don't. I'm not one of those guys that's going to call you on the phone and bother you. I know you got enough stuff going on, and you know, we all have lives outside of radio, even though it usually involves more radio. So, anyway, John, I know. I'll keep that in mind. There, go ahead.
Right, sounds good. Yeah, I know that's so true, man. We've got all kinds of things going on, a lot of irons in the fire, but never too busy for a phone call. So by all means, you know, feel free to use the number if you feel England. And yeah, that's you know, we had a BE. No, I'm sorry, it was a Harris. Oh, dog, it was a Harris 2.5 or 3 kilowatt Harris or whatever. No, it was a 1 kilowatt Harris at 6:60 a.m. Here in Santa Maria. Before that went dark, Norwood Patterson owned a station, and anyway, it's sold, but and it's gone and long since quiet. But anyway, we had a interesting situation over there with that transmitter. It was out on Black Road, and they had 3 stations out, well, 3 stations out there. There was the 1240 KSMA, which I have their original BT1R transmitter over here. I love that thing. It's beautiful. It's the one transmitter I will never get rid of, at least in the commercial variety. And then there was 660 AM on. It was out at the dump way back when on three towers and all that. And Norwood ended up getting booted out of the dump, and he made the thing work. He was an engineer. And we worked for him. And anyway, he changed his location over to Black Road, and the tower that it was on was originally for the station, the third station that was out there, which was 1480, and. So they all coexisted for a little while, but to make 660 work, we top-loaded the 1480 tower and put a duplexer in there and had both stations running on the same tower, and everything was all hunky-dory except for when these Starlings would come around, and it was top-loaded, so you know, electrically short or physically short tower, electrically top-loaded to make longer, and these Starlings would come land on the top hat wires and the guy wires of the tower. And the SWR would creep up and the thing would shut down. And it happened regularly. And I thought, well, man, what am I going to do about these doggone things? So I got a cart machine and I wired it up to the SWR alarm. And every time the SWR would get up to a certain point, the cart machine would play this bang, you know, sound over a big old horn mounted outside, pointed up toward the guy wires in the tower and all that. And for the first couple days it worked, or maybe a week or so it worked, and the birds would fly away and it would start over again, and it didn't shut off and it didn't go off the air. So that was kind of cool. And then the birds got used to it. So I'd have to come out there and I'd have to literally bang on the tower with a broomstick, and then they'd all fly away. And that was kind of weird. So then we got a propane cannon and tried that. Anyway, it was just the weirdest thing. trying to get that doggone transmitter to stay happy with those birds flying on the guy wires and it was just I think the ground conductivity and the base impedance of the tower was just fluctuating too much, and it just took very little bit of extra, I guess, K factor or capacitance or something built up by those birds landing on the top loading wires, which were tied off to 3 points with big long, 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch filistran. They were just up in the air, but the birds landing on them would change the electrical length of it, and what a nightmare that was.
That by far is one of the most unique fixes I've ever heard. Now, I got to give you credit on that one, John. That's thinking outside the box. A PA horn wired up to the VSWR alarm. Now that'll get the job done. Yeah, man, we got weird things going on with what I'm working on too. It was very hurriedly put on the air, and it's on 1480, but it's a 102-foot piece of wire off the side of one of the guy wires of the main stick, and the main stick has been 1400 forever. And it got co-located with 1580 after 1580 went dark from its original location. So somebody picked up the license and moved it over to this stick. And this was all done back in 2021. And, got all the Kintronics, all the correct stuff for 1400. But somehow, with 1480 being on the side wire off have a long wire off the side of a guy wire, and it's all insulated correctly. You look at it, it looks kind of hokey, but it's functional. But we rebuilt the ATU because the ATU was, I've seen some amateur stuff that was done substantially better. And then we find out after we did all that work that there's no counterpoise there's no grounding back to the main radio field, and there's no counterpoise for the wire. So we've had, running our lots of nice 4-inch ground strap, burying that in concrete, and all of the copper chicken wire type stuff, and doing all the work that is required to make it even correct before we can even fix the real issue. John, the coax had so much RF on it, even unhooked, it was, it burned. I have burn marks on my fingers still from it. It was just, everything about the whole thing was just wrong or half done. Apparently there was radials for that long wire at one time, and apparently they got midnight requisitioned by somebody needing the copper more than the station did, I guess. And so it's been an uphill battle, but I know you've probably had very similar things. It just kind of happens, and we're just trying to keep the people on the air and keep them happy. Thankfully, they have a low-power translator, but even that, I kind of doubt the viability of that too. I have yet to go up to that site to inspect it. But if it is what I think it is, and it is where I think it is, it's going to be about as bad shape there. Go ahead.
Wow, what a trip! Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, it's amazing what the midnight acquisition type folks will do, to acquire their copper to go feed their whatever kind of habits they might have. We had a lot of counterpoise radials missing off of both that site and 1280 AM, which is where the power rock came from, out in Arroyo Grande, and just a whole I guess people would find the end of the wire and they would just start pulling, and there's one, cool, next. And then up on Cuesta Peak, we have a whole bunch of FMs up there, and all the buildings, whether it be our building or at the time it was Clear Channel, or some of the cell sites. Anyway, all the stations up there ended up losing their ground bus bars from midnight copper acquisition folks. So that happened pretty often, and what a bummer indeed. All that work that it causes to correct all the aftermath, terrible thing. I had by the way, off of transmitter sites in studios, the weirdest story I've had, and I guess there's other oddball stories, but the weirdest story I've had was KWWV had a ground in their studio, and they doubled the studio as a prod room or an on-air studio. It's mostly automated, and anyway, there was a ground hum in the studio, and I couldn't really find it. I couldn't pinpoint where the hell the thing was coming from, and so I found one ground wire that I was able to disconnect, and the hum went away. So I thought, oh, cool, just leave it like that. I'll leave, and we'll call it good. Well, another week later, I get a phone call. Hey, the hum is back. I was like, what? Did you plug anything else in? Did you change anything? No. I went over there and looked, and I took that ground wire, and I just touched it temporarily to the ground. The hum went away. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, well, tie it back down again. So I punched it back down, and came back another week later because they called back again saying, yeah, the hum is back again. I was like, what the hell? So I just built a box and called it the hum box, and just put it up on the console. And whenever there was a hum, they just flipped the switch. Wherever the switch was, flipped the switch. And that was what they did for the remainder of their days.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen some stuff like that. It takes what it takes. I know what you mean. I mean, you're chasing electrons, and you're chasing things that only way we even know it exists is the measurement tools that we have, and you have to trust those tools. And when you're trying to troubleshoot problems like that, well, you either do like you did. You come up with a very simple, unique solution, or you pull your hair out for days and weeks on end, and you lose what little sanity you may have had left, and you still can't find the problem. Yeah, I'll be going down, hopefully, here to Yuma here after a while. The college station down there is doing a build, believe it or not. They're moving all of their studios. They're completely redoing everything, and that's my buddy's hometown station. And hopefully I'll be getting called in to help do all the finalization of all the Wheatstones and all of that, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Apparently, all of the nomenclature for proper studio grounding no longer exists. We couldn't find any of the, you can find plenty of stuff on transmitter site grounding. All of the proper grounding techniques for transmitter sites, but you cannot find anything for studio grounds anymore. I don't know if you know him, Ed Trombley, up in Michigan. I'm sure you probably know him. I contacted him, and he can have nomenclature on that, too. I forgot to just chat with you about it, but yeah, we had some contractors down there, and they didn't understand the purpose of wide, flat grounds in a studio and a potential IRF environment. The transmitter is about, it's not but an 8 mile away from where the studio is going to be. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. I enjoy doing this stuff probably way more than I should, and being 35, it's kind of hard to get into this game, and I've been very, very fortunate to get in with a few guys that I have, and they find ways to keep me busy when I'm not doing the normal 9 to 5 job there. Go ahead.
10-4, yeah, what a trip. Very cool. Yeah, that's the thing of the past. You don't find many installations these days where the RF is really even an issue, and very little information to be found currently on looking at how to properly ground studios in the close proximity of RF, and very little attention even paid anymore to transformer decoupled devices. Back in the day when studios and transmitters coexisted together, everything that was balanced was transformer balanced, and now they're doing it with op amps. And ultimately, on a lot of these balanced pieces of equipment, you'll find what's known as the pin 1 problem, and I'm sure you've discovered it yourself plenty of times, where you'll find that pin 1, which is supposed to be the chassis, the box, and that goes to your star grounding system and flat, wide, big, heavy-duty ground straps and RF to pass least resistance and all that good stuff too. And instead, what you'll find is that the pin 1 will ultimately connect somewhere to the negative power supply or the negative trace inside the board itself. And so sure, it might be balanced. There's a high and a low and a ground. Well, that's great, but it's not it's not RF balanced. It's not truly balanced. And you still get your negative 10 dB or whatever from either high or low to ground. And it acts like it's balanced, but it's still bringing that RF right up into the chassis. And very little stuff these days is actually truly transformer coupled. And, you know, that's how they used to do everything, was all transformers. And then you did have a signal, you know, running through the transformer. And then the chassis of the whole thing was shield or ground. And it was pretty common. And then you could use the old rule of thumb of not using the shield on an input, but using the shield on an output, and blah 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 blah, not connecting both ends and keeping ground loops to a minimum and all that. But very little discussed about that these days. And I don't know. I think our Mother Nature might be dipping and dabbing on us a tad bit. But 639 Arizona Motormouth Mall, your West Coast beast. We'll see if we still have any kind of conditions. You know, I just realized we're having this conversation, kind of a you know, commercial broadcasty engineering kind of a conversation on 27.025. I don't know how that's going to fare. We're going to get hammered on real soon there, Break.
You know, and I'm just sitting here running the low power driver. No, John, I know exactly what you mean about the Pin 1 situation. I've seen that, and there again, that's modern day equipment. The more modern day equipment you get, the more, you know, attention isn't paid. Like you said, you know, all of that knowledge is going away. And most of these guys using audio processing seem to be doing podcasting and stuff like that in a non-RF environment. So there again, it doesn't matter, like you said. And people don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. It's a shame. But we won't hold it up any longer. I know I like irritating a few of the guys every once in a while when I can. But we've talked about everything that most of these guys have no clue about. Probably, what, 20%? Maybe know what we were talking about? Something, and hopefully you can help them out, because, you know, that's what this hobby is all about, getting out here and hopefully informing somebody of something new they didn't know about, and maybe they can learn something. I mean, that would be great, being able to transmit something on 27025 that somebody can actually learn something from. But anyway, John, take it easy, take it care. Mr. Big Bad John in California, 639 Arizona. I'm back out of your way. My friend. Bye.
It definitely was a pleasure with the double measure, and yeah, hopefully somebody out there picks up on some of the things. You know, we could have even touched on other little things like, you know, proper grounding of the transmitters and coax and that kind of thing as well. But we'll save that for another time, another way. But if we spark some interest and get somebody to be thinking a little bit more along the lines of what they need to be thinking along, then I think we did our job. Hey, 639. Emphasis was on having a whole lot of fun, and I did indeed on this end, and pleasure was all mine, and good to hear you out there in the world of sound. Take care. 73s, have a good day. I'm going to get out of here. I done shot my nickel's worth, I believe, so I'll get back on the side and say 73s to everybody over there also on YouTube while you're out there. Hey, Penguins over there, 416 over there in Holland. Good to see you up in there, Motormouth Mall, waving and stepping. 806, I can't wait to listen to the gate. I'll be checking. And we'll catch you a bit later on. Your West Coast Thunder Modulated Beast, dropping a hammer, 639 Arizona, Motormouth Mall, got down.
And one more thing to let you know before you go, John, you're holding solid 50/9 out here in Arizona. 7-3s.
50/9, that's a lot of dBs. That's too many dBs. Maybe shoot, that's a whole lot of dB. Well, it's all about dBirds and dBs, you know, dBird watts and decibels.
Bird watts. Bye.
Bird watch. I always like that term, bird watch. I still don't know what one is.
This is so hard in the mouth. You go crazy. Yeah, you cruising to the low side of that 420 bush. Bringing up to my, how can you stop a motor mile? All right, hey, Dr. J, I'm going to sit back and listen to your talk show. Take care, big brother. Fred just spoke on you later. Hey, Dr. J, Mr. God Father just walked away. Click.
Mr. Godfather, I did hear my ears ringing. I heard my ears burning there. You said something about Motor Mouth. And Mr. Godfather, tell Dr. J I said hello. Hey, Mr. Godfather, radio station Motor Mouth Mall, working this thing. I was looking down around Arizona, so I had my attention down that way. Hello to you, Mr. Godfather, radio station Motor Mouth Mall, your West Coast under modulated beast. Dropping a hammer from time to time. I got down.
Fast sound, Motor Mouth Mall. Motor Mouth Mall, you got a big style, man. And all that you while ago can be, because, man, I got DX1 out of Texas and everywhere, man, and from time to time. Hey, Motor Mouth Mall. And that's just what you did. Good evening to you, Motor Mouth Mall. You might have said you got a small copy. Mr. Godfather just walked away. Click.
And I got a good copy on you there, Mr. Godfather. Mr. Godfather. Motor Mouth Mall, your West Coast beast, dropping a hammer from time to time, looking around Georgia. I hope you have a wonderful weekend out there. Enjoy the remainder of it to its fullest. Mr. Godfather, radio station Motor Mouth Mall, your West Coast beast. Got down.
And you got down? Fine style. Motor Mouth Mall, let me know where I can go and look something. I'm going to see if I got it right. Motor Mouth, take care. And I'll check it out on the Motor Mouth Mall, Mr. Godfather, often imitated, never duplicate. Got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can listen to it on YouTube. It's the first gate of the day over here, so give it a listen. And we're at the gate at about the 51-minute mark. We're about the 51-minute mark over here, and on the first gate of the day, so 073023A, and that's where you are. And hello there, Shane, over there on Louisiana radio station Motor Mouth Mall. Break up.
Yeah, I got it, Motor Mouth. Okay, I got reading the mail. Hey, let me get out. I'm plugging on Dr. J. And I want to plug up Dr. J's ear. Godfather, back out.
You don't want to plug up Dr. J's ears. Godfather, take care. Blessings and good graces. You got that thing sounding superb over here around my place. Your West Coast beast dropping a hammer from time to time as I'm looking east.
And you doing the same thing over here while you looking east?
Across Colorado, man. You got almost 15. That's a lot up here. Motor Mouth Mall, 8.
I'm getting my knees up in the breeze. This is GVN.
And GVN, I'll see you. Take care of 73s and 808 around Colorado, somewhere up around the Rockies. I heard you up in there, too. You rolling up in there. 808. Good afternoon time to you, sir.
Almost 20 units, John. Real good signal.
Wait, but she got big ago. She came all in my receiver. Mr. Godfather, right back out.
Holy cow, Roger on 20 S units. Well, that's up there pretty good. 20 dB or 20 S units, whichever the case may be, I'll take whatever I can get. I put the snatch and grabs of Mother Nature, and I won't let go. I got down.
Working the ground plane, too. I'm going to go outside and adjust the antenna. I got to do that manually. Motor Mouth Mall, I'll be adjusting the 4-element. I'll see you.
All right, sounds good. You're working the ground plane now. You're going to go adjust the 4-element outside, and you got to do it manually. Got it all. 808 Motor Mouth Mall. Got down.
Hey, Motor Mouth Mall, I'm going to try to move it in.
Oh, 800 state line operator. Are you blowing smoke with all that audio sounding superb out there in the world of sound? State line operator, radio station Motor Mouth Mall, looking around your neck of the woods. Break up.
But I'm working on direct sale. Mr. Godfather reading the mail. Hey, Motor Mouth Mall, 800 state line rolling through. Break.
The direct feed is working for you. 800 state line while you're rolling through, and the direct feed is doing this thing for you indeed. Motor Mouth Mall cruising break up.
You cruise in style, brother, and I see you're out there real busy today, and you got a lot of customers in your receive. And while I was shopping, you can take your Hey, Motor Mouth Mall, 800 state line, roll through with a quick 5, got down.
10-4-10. I sure appreciate you bumping it down and take a little bit of time to look around my neck of the woods there, state line operator, where you got that thing working in the world of sound. And yeah, a lot of customers, a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of big audio, a lot of big hammers rolling up in here from time to time. Oh, dear, one more time. State line operator, Motor Mouth Mall, your West Coast beast got down.
Have a great evening. Talk to you later. Mr. Godfather just walked away. Click.
Have a good day, Godfather.
Hey, Godfather, I know I ain't no big boy, but have a good day. I got you on the board again. Hey, Godfather, have a good day.
Flat side, motormouth ball, 4 element, flat side, 12 feet off the ground.
Terrorize you, Peter.
Well, I heard you there on the flat side, 12 feet off the ground, AA808. I did hear you on the flat side, 12 feet off the ground, but I think I heard you a little bit more better on the vertical when you were on the 5/8 wave. But I did hear you 12 feet off the ground, 808 Motormouth Mall, look and break.
Hey, well, I jumped back on the ground plane, and you're back up to 20 up here, sounding. Come on, Breaker. Mother Nature. All right, Motormouth Mall, we're just testing. You do sound good on the beam, but some DBs in the ground plane. Motormouth Mall 808, listening.
You know, it's funny how that works sometimes. Like I'd say probably about 6 or 8 months ago, I was talking to Daniel Son in Tucson, Arizona, and he almost always had a better signal on me when he was on the vertical and I was on the flat side. And when we swapped things around, it wasn't, you know, it's like Mother Nature was alternating flipping the polarity up there. So you say you got me a little bit better on the ground plane too right now than the flat side. So yeah, I think there's some polarity flipping and flopping and whatnot. Mother Nature doing that dipping and dabbing and flipping and flopping to break.
Copy that. Yeah, I finally got to make a contact with him, Daniel Son, this morning. He had a talk show with 131 in the Mojave, but yeah, he always sounds good. But yeah, it's interesting how it changes polarity, and now it seems like it's going back to the beam. I'm still on the ground plane. All right, Motormouth Mall, I'm going to sit back and see where she goes. Always looking good.
Roger, yeah, I pointed a little bit farther north. I'm overshooting you a little bit, but I got enough getting up in your radio, and I'm trying to get away from Georgia. I had Georgia rolling up in there pretty heavy, so to hear you a little bit better, I'm shooting a little bit farther north. I'm looking probably up, probably somewhere around Ontario, Canada. Let's see here. Where am I compared to you? Let's see here. Oh, I got another thing on the screen in the way. Oh, well, never mind. I'm looking about 50 degrees right now, which is too far north, but it's what I had to do to get my receive to quiet down the break.
Hey, Big Peter, Superman in Georgia. Hey, Big Peter, Superman trying to give you a wave and get out the middle of the road. Oh, Big Peter, Superman waving, breaker. In the corner is gone.
I guess I lost you there. 808 Motormouth Mall, looking around the Rockies one more time, and hello, Superman. I'm going to get back on the side. I'm going to shut this gate down. I got a whole lot of good stuff on the gate, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and let it do its thing, and I'll come back here a little bit later on. Y'all take care. 73s, radio station Motormouth Mall, your West Coast, under modulated beast, dropping a hammer for time to time. And Shane, good to see you, and I appreciate you letting me know you've been listening for a long time out there in the world of sound. Radio station Motormouth Mall, your West Coast, under modulated beast, dropping a great big old hammer. Got down.
Have a good Sunday. Thank you very much for what you do. A Motormouth Mall, 808 in the Rockies.
And 808, and thank you for the gates and all that you do out here in the world of sound as well. Appreciate the bump down, and have a good weekend, the remainder of it. Motormouth Mall waving. Aloha.
Aloha. I'll get back with you.
Top afternoon to you, low key around Denver. Top afternoon to you, West Side 17, go.
Hey, West Side 17, tell low key that I said hello over there on Denver to the break.
You can mother me for so long, and wait on your dust sucking friend, that's okay.
You can't go over He's all on the Watergate. I don't know why you can't hear Motormouth Mall, but I can hear him at the top of the Bighorn, 806, click, why he...
806, I got you on the top of the Bighorn while you roll in front of my stack of bricks. 806 around the top of the Bighorn break.
But I've been sitting up here.
Hotel, low-key. Okay, hey, Motormouth, he said top EMT also, Motormouth. Low-key said top EMT also. You coming through the side. I'm in free to go. 639. Put on your later. Side 17, Arizona gone.
The West Side 17, I appreciate you rolling up in there. Let them know I did say hello, and I appreciate rolling that 5 and keep it all the way live. I'm going to turn this attention back down toward the Southland and look around the Bighorn and Arizona and all that too. Get the antenna down around the about the 100-degree mark, somewhere around there. Motormouth Mall waving and stepping. I got down.
Real good stuff. All right, man. It's just some good Mother Nature. Just some different Mother Nature here, man. I never had a skip like this, man, where we got Colorado and California, but it's been like that, so it's that climate change, man. People don't believe in it, but it's hot as a firecracker in Arizona, that's for sure. West Side 17 gone.
Agenda West Side 17, yeah, you say that climate change is real. It's hard in the firecracker over there. It's hot all over the country, you know. It's definitely different. It's warmer than usual over here on our neck of the woods too, and definitely climate change is real. Now, one thing I'm going to argue with, though, and I don't want to start a big old thing over here on the radio, you know, but there are a lot of different opinions, and it's kind of like politics and religion. But I'm going to say it anyway. Hey, West Side 17, a lot of people out there want to give the human beings, the human race, all of the credit for the bad stuff happening, you know, for the climate change. When in reality, we may be contributing, and I'm not going to say we're not contributing, but it's still about every 100,000-year cycle. You know, it's a cycle. It's a cycle that the planet goes through on its own. So we're not the overall cause of it. So I don't feel so bad when I run this great big old hammer. Oh, West Side 17, Motormouth Mall. But you're right, the climate change is real.
Yeah, Terry Motormouth. Yeah, you got that right, man. You said it all, man. You said it all. I can't add that.
806 back on the quiet side. I rolled that 5 for Witch Doctor.
Come on here, man. I gotta go.
806, I appreciate you rolling the 5 and to Witch Doctor, and tell Witch Doctor I said a welcome to the Motormouth Mall. It's not my page, even though it's got Motormouth Mall plastered all over it, but tell him I am one of the administrators, I guess, and tell him I said big old welcome to the Motormouth Mall page. 806, Motormouth Mall cruising, and the West Side 17. Appreciate the appreciation, and yep, ain't no doubt about that. That's how it works, but a lot of people to be making a lot of money off of a lot of other perspectives. Take care. Hey, 806 and the West Side 17, Motormouth Mall working this thing, if you know what I mean.
Real good copy, Motormouth. Real good copy, no doubt, man. Sounds good, man. It's coming through the side, that's for sure. Put it on your later. West Side 17 just got on down.
Yeah, West Side 17, take care. I'm going to let the gate roll for a little bit before I shut it down. I'm going to go listen to another gate, 806. I'm going to go listen to that one right now. Motormouth Mall stepping right there, right now.
I can get in there with that Cappy 806 on the side. I can touch him on the side. 806 is no doubt. I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe it's a Mother Nature thing. No doubt.
And 806, he waving, and West Side 17 waving, and 806 over there in the Bighorn too. Motormouth Mall stepping. I got all the way down.
410 Motormouth Mall. 410 Motormouth Mall. West Side 17, right Arizona. Just got on down.
I'm trying to have just a hair down with yo-yo. Dr. Dre, G-Dilla, and this yo-yo is quiet.
Hey, Wiz Doctor, I just posted that Watergate in JD. It's on the 181. Hey, Wiz Doctor, go in JD and check the Watergate.
How in the world you ask me some question like that, Cat Nigga? And I ain't looking in the gold light switch. Come out! I was looking in the Bighorn, I ain't looking around the black gold. Light switch, OGW heard you. Get on down. Bye, 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 bye.
Hello, USA. Hello, USA. got down, Mexico City got down. Hello, USA, Mexico City got down. Them Campigo singing, no doubt about it, Campigo. You got that Campigo wind up, no doubt about it. Light switch, your GW is quiet and gone.
I got it all because you did it all. And worldwide, yeah. Hey, Mr. Worldwide, yes, John.
Hey,
Mexico City. Hello, USA, Mexico City got down, Mexico City got down, 73, Mexico City got down, Hello, USA, Mexico City. Hello, USA, Mexico City got down. Hello, USA, Mexico City. Mexico City get down, 73,
Mike Cuz, west side of 17. Mike Cuz, west side of 17 on the side of these sixes breaker. Yeah, 410, Mike Cuz. I just heard you in there, man. Once put the broken spoke on you, no doubt about it, man. Sounding good coming through the side of these sixes. Mike Cuz, my longtime friend, west side 17, Arizona, going.
Hey, track master around the Golden Wheat Field. Can you ever say good evening? Hey, track master, why you stepping on the scene? Oh, GW with the evening wave. Break up.
Put down, I'm thinking something with that, I don't know. Put on you later, Mike Cuz, west side 17, going. Northern Cal, west side 17, just got on down.
No Roger, no shit chat around the Golden Wheat Field. Worldwide track master GW is paging you.
Yeah, I'm losing it on you, Mike Cuz. Mike Cuz, I'm gonna shoot you a 21 in a little bit, man. I got something to do, man. I gotta go get my clothes out the lunchroom and fold them all up, but I'm gonna shoot you a 21 in a little bit. Mike Cuz, west side 17, going.
Ain't no doubt about it. Red Devil deep in the bluegrass. Low budget, weak station. Get on up. You putting your station back together. What'd you take it apart for, Captain? Some more refills. Trackmaster, your teammate, Mission Control Waver. Yeah, 410 on that cat there. While you up there playing with them Lego blocks, you listen. With the black cat there. I want to talk to you down about your track. You hear me? I'm right back.
Number 15 man on this drive again now.
No Roger on my side. 101, Mobile. I'm rolling through Prescott, Arizona. Yep. Rolling slow, taking no chances, looking at the scenery. Yep, that's what we do. Break up, break up.
410 on that track. You sounded good, my friend. Heard you out there want to speak upon you, man. I forgot being real. Both ain't let a track master. I'm sitting over here in the cut. Michigan Control getting on down.
That's a terrible situation. I heard Motormouth Mall earlier, and he can't hear me. Well, that's what happens when you got a Magnum Out antenna on top of a Prius, and you're driving east, and Motormouth Mall is west. Huh. Anyway, 101 Mobile, 1012 in Arizona's back out.
I'm gonna get out of your radio track. Your teammate, Mission Control.
Yeah. Let's get him out of that track on that end. I can show you the horn. How fast is the Trackmaster on that end? How fast is Trackmaster 711? I can show you the horn. Got down.
And my birthday August 16th. 8766. My birthday August 16th. I'm a Leo just like you. West Side 17 gone.
Hello, Trackmaster.
Down and go.
Yeah, 410. Yeah, 410. It's Friday night. My 15th of my birthdays. My family, man. All in a row, too, man. That's just crazy. That's a shame. All of us in a row, man. Like 14, 15, 16, 17.